slave trade is going to make up 1/3 of the triangular trade system. What was the triangular trade system? There's 3 parts to it, hence the triangle. The first part were merchants from Europe bringing guns, cloth, and other things to Africa. And when they got here, what essentially happened is Africans have captured and enslaved other Africans, and now will trade them to the Europeans. So Europeans aren't heading to the west coast of Africa and heading into the interior of Africa and taking Africans as slaves. For the most part, it's Africans enslaving other Africans who then trade them to Europeans. So the second part of the triangular trade was known as the Middle Passage, where these slaves are then transported to the Americas. And the third part was goods and other items being shipped from the Americas back to Europe. So here's a visual of what that would kind of entail. And what we'll notice is we see these slaves heading from Africa to the Caribbean. And one thing to note is they don't just head to the Caribbean, they don't just head to North America. Slaves head, from North America to the Caribbean all the way to South America. And we'll see a visual here in a minute that shows that. And what we'll notice is, for the most part, we see things coming from the Americas back to Europe that are items, they're goods, they're things you harvest, you grow, you catch, you cut down. Furs, iron, lumber, meat, fish. And then from Europe, we see manufactured goods coming back to the Americas. So once the Europeans have, gathered certain supplies or resources, they then, make products and ship them back, usually to their colonies to sell them. And this illustration kind of shows more of where slaves were headed from Africa. We see, for the most part, it's the west coast of Africa where the slaves are being taken from. And if we look up here in North America, the U.S., we see about 500,000 slaves end up in North America, which is a large number, don't get me wrong. But if we head down south a little more, in the West Indies, we see 4.5 million slaves. And down to South America and Brazil, we see 5 million. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that in these areas, in the West Indies and Brazil, slaves have a much worse time, to the point where they're not able to produce fast enough. Whereas in North America, it's just slightly better. When I say slightly better, I don't mean good at all. The Middle Passage. So a little more about the Middle Passage. Once slaves were purchased by Europeans, they're packed like other goods, like any other good you would have is packed below deck on slave ships. And this illustration kind of shows it. They are packed in tight. It's in the dark. Sanitary conditions are terrible. And they are going to be facing a voyage of anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. And slave ships are going to essentially garner the name floating coffins. And usually we'd say, well, if they were lucky enough to make it to the Western Hemisphere, but you don't, because if they're lucky enough to make it, they're headed towards a life of slavery. And some of them don't, many of them don't make it. Many die from diseases like dysentery and smallpox. Some try to fight their captors, and then some commit suicide. And so overall, it's a terrible situation from the point of enslavement until they get off the boat. And it doesn't get any better once they get off the boat. So what was the impact of slave trade? Well, for the merchants and traders involved in this in the Americas and in Europe, it's great. It leads to enormous wealth. For the African states and societies and the slaves themselves, it's a terrible experience. You can see over here on the right, we have the African region and approximately the number of slaves taken from that region. And historians don't have a perfect number, but they believe anywhere from 10 to 12 million Africans are taken and shipped abroad, and that anywhere around 2 million of those those probably die while en route to the Western Hemisphere. Numbers aren't approximate, but anyway you spin it, you have millions upon millions of people being enslaved, and usually ultimately sent to a very early death. Final thing we look at, the Columbian Exchange. This kind of ties everything together. The European exploration that we've been looking at is going to bring drastic changes to the people of Europe, but also Asia, Africa, and the Americas, the places they're visiting. And this really begins with Columbus. When he returns to Spain in 1493, he's going to bring back some plants and animals. And this is really going to initiate what we call the Columbian Exchange, named after Columbus. This little diagram kind of shows a nice little neat thing. We see the different plants and animals that come from the Americas and head to Europe, and vice versa. And it's interesting to note that people in the Americas had never seen cattle or horses or pigs, and people in Europe had never had sweet potatoes or turkeys or peanuts or beans. And so the Columbian Exchange shouldn't be taken lightly. I mean, this truly goes and makes the world an interconnected place for the first time. And it's not only plants and animals that are going to be moving. We now see different goods. Goods are coming from Europe, headed to the Americas that people have never seen before. Same thing with the Americas to Europe and Africa. And so it's truly helping expand and create a world trade network. There's also some downfall to this. Things such as diseases are also spread. And for some people, diseases are going to be a terrible, terrible thing, like we're going to see in the next slide. But really, the Columbian Exchange is really about the fact that for the first time we're opening up a network of trade of plants, animals, goods, ideas, and disease. And that's going to lead us to our final slide, which is to deal with population change. The transportation of all these new food crops leads to a population boom, a rapid population boom. And what we are also going to see is that there's going to be migration. A large majority of the migration is going to come from Europe to the Americas, whether it's North America, the Caribbean, or South America. We're going to see colonies established. And we've also talked about the forcible migration of Africans as well. And the final population change we need to look at is that of the Native Americans. And on the last slide, I talked about diseases being part of the Columbian Exchange. Diseases like malaria, smallpox, and measles. Well, when those come from Europe and Africa to the Americas, the native population of the Americas aren't going to be able to handle it. Their bodies physically can't deal with them because they've never been exposed to them. So their immune systems are completely shocked by these diseases. And in a previous lecture I stated in the 1500s, the native population of the Caribbean decreases by 90%. It's not a minor population change. Millions upon millions of lives are lost because mostly of diseases. It's not the conqueror